Now what's next for football star Stephan Schröck as he transitions to life after the Philippine Azkals? Well, let's find out right now. Joining us to go all out on this story is none other than Mr. Philippines Football himself, a really good friend of mine, Schröcky, Stephan Schröck. Boss, guten Morgen, magandang umaga. Thank you for joining us. I know you're driving.
Magandang umaga. I found a good parking lot.
I was looking forward to seeing you here, but I kind of expected that you would finish late last night. Hence, you're there on your way home, and then we're here. But maybe next time we'll schedule something out. Okay, so your retirement seems sudden because we've had you last week with Coach Joseph Ferre, and you never mentioned anything, and you never hinted to me too, because I know you take care of your body. You're in great shape. You can even give a run for their money, these kids who play football, because you can still run up and down the pitch. Tell me, is this the same retirement that you had in 2014, at the retirement in 2014? Is it final? Is it real? Tell us now here live on Sports Desk on CNN Philippines. Stephan Schröck, are you retiring from the Philippine team for good, for real? Why?
First of all, good morning. Well, yeah, in football, nothing is 100% sure, but 99%. Last night was my last game for the Azkals. It was a long journey, a really, really tough journey, an enjoyable journey at the same time. I'm 36 now, and I want to take time with the family. I want to enjoy more different parts of life. And I think it's the right move to make to step down after this game last night. And so far, I'm happy with my decision. It felt like the right thing to do.
I'm sure your wife, Pinar, knew about it. Was it, you said it was really a tough decision. Did it take a while? Was it one of those decisions wherein you really talk to your mother, talk to the PFF, talk to your wife, Pinar, talk to your kids? Belated happy birthday, by the way, to Lupina Santana, who had her first birthday yesterday, a really cute girl. But did you talk to everybody involved, or talk to me about that decision process, Schröcky?
When it came up, actually, when I wasn't selected for the AFC qualifiers, you develop some sort of pride in what you do with the national team. And when I wasn't part, I realized it could have been my last camp for the national team. And so when there appeared a chance that I could play the Suzuki Cup, obviously I trained hard. I focused the next 6 months towards the tournament to get me in a good shape, to get my teammates on a certain level. And leading up to this tournament, I was talking to my wife a lot, to my mom, that this is my last, so I have it in my own hands, and it's I can say I leave everything on the pitch, on the tournament, with no regrets, looking back maybe 10 years from now.
What was their reaction? What was the reaction of I know your mother has been very, very supportive. She was the happiest when you decided to play for the Philippines, for her home country. And then what did your wife also tell you, and your kids? Diaz, because Diaz, big football fan, and all your kids, when they found out, I'm sure Lupina is still really young to know this, but how about Diaz, those who already know what's going on, to tell them must have been very difficult for you?
Yeah, it was not easy to talk through the process, and we at some points when the topic comes up, then it feels like you get emotional. Obviously, you will not experience things that the Philippine Azkals was able to deliver to me, to my family, and very, very positive things. But in the end of the day, Diaz, for example, he was very happy that I said that he won't be not at home for a couple of weeks anymore, because I'm retiring from the national team, so he has more time with me. And especially him growing up in the time, or he was born a year after I gave my first game for the Azkals, and he noticed a lot that football is taking daddy away a lot. So for him, it was maybe not too much of a shock, but Manilo, my second child,
Yeah.
he loves me playing football. He loves to see me on TV or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
for him, it was quite tough. But overall, I'm happy. I'm happy that I took that decision, and for the team and also for the process that is happening with the Azkals, it's the right thing to do.
You said 99% Schröck, so there's still that 1% chance. Is there a chance that you will come back with the Azkals? Who knows? Maybe after a year, after 2 years, and after this, are you retiring from the Azkals? Just the Azkals, the Philippine team? Are you still planning to play club football professionally?
Well, the 99% is a huge amount of percentage that I'm not coming back anymore. With the club football, I haven't opened. We're in discussions on what to do with the coaching staff at ADT and also with the Azkals management, with the PFF. There's plenty things that we want to sort out, and after that, I'll make a decision on whether I'll play or whether I don't.
Michael Jordan even went back at a certain age. Talking to my executive producer, he even came back. So maybe Schröck can come back. Are there any regrets, Schröck? Like during no regrets at all?
No. To play for the Azkals is the biggest achievement, and in a football career, for representing your nation is really a big honor for every football player, for everyone who enjoy the sport. And I've won a couple things back in Europe. Was able to face the who is who in German club football. But for me, the biggest achievement was always to represent the national team. And up to now, I'm very honored and humbled that I was able to be part of that team for 11 years.
What was your favorite? There are a lot. You played 11 years. I remember that Schröck, and I always tell you this, even I was talking to our producer about this before the show. I still remember vividly when you, one of those first matches you played with Phil, with Chiefy, Ali, Anton, those guys, and you were, you removed your shirt, you were waving your shirt. But what's your most favorite part or moment that you will never forget with the Philippine Azkals? Was that when you scored that only goal in the 2019 AFC Asian Cup? What was it?
Yes, definitely. That's one of my favorite memories connected to the national team. My first goal against Kuwait, when my first goal for the national team, my mom was at the stadium, my family was there too. So that's definitely one of my best memories too. I have many good memories with the national team. I will always carry them close to my heart.
What's one thing you will miss from being with the national team? I know you won't miss spending time away from your family, but if there's one thing you will miss with the Philippine team, what will that be?
It's the pressure, the anthem before the game. I will miss a lot of things because I love the game dearly and I love the national team dearly. There will be plenty of things that I will be missing out in the next 50 years of my life, or 60, who knows. But like I said, it really felt right to make that decision, and no regrets on that so far.
Well, Schröck, don't go anywhere. We still have a lot to talk about. If we can fit you in the whole 30 minutes or an hour, we'll do that. Our all-out conversation with football star Stephan Schröck announcing his retirement from the Philippine Azkals. We'll continue after this really quick break. Sports Says. We'll be right back. Stay tuned only here at CNN Philippines. Welcome back to Sports Desk, only here on CNN Philippines. Football star Stephan Schröck taking his final bow as part of the Philippine Azkals, and we still have Mr. Philippines Football here on the show live via Zoom. He is on his way home, coming from the hotel. What a bittersweet ending. You know what, Schröck? I'm sure you had a great assist yesterday, but I'm sure you wished things were different on that final game. Like a Lionel Messi kind of goodbye. When you won the World Cup for Argentina, I'm sure you wanted that kind of ending, right?
Yeah, what I want and what reality is are not often the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew before the tournament that um, the management and the federation is kicking off a process, and there were talks before the tournament to involve me into leading the younger and unexperienced players from the local league into this tournament, so that they have someone to lean on when
Mm-hmm.
things get rough, and things got rough during the group stage. Um, I kind of we kind of expected
Mm-hmm.
the outcome in terms of points, in terms of the
Mm-hmm.
group exit, because it's we simply cannot compete when the nations around have bring their A squad, and we sort of like being in transition and have a lot of young players, a lot
Yeah.
of players that played their first major tournament. You need a lot of experience, you need tough nerves, and it's not only about skill and quality, which all the local based players and all the young players will bring. You need also a lot of experience to advance in a tournament
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of expected that we will have to bow down to or exit in the group stage.
Shraki, if you had a better tournament, let's say if you won Thailand and you had that chance, or you were moving to the next round, would you have still retired? No, right?
Yeah,
For sure.
yes,
For
yeah.
sure.
The Suzuki Cup I knew will be my last.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So nonetheless, whatever the result would have been,
Yeah.
you still wanted this. Who do you see anyone from this young core, the young Azkals, or because you're also part of the Azkals development team? Who do you see? Who has it? Has the tools? Has the competitiveness? Or you kind of see yourself in to become that next Stephan Schröck? Someone, because we need a guy like that. Someone who has that competitive fire, even if you know you'll be facing a really tough team, be it in the region or not. But who has that swag? Like, come on, we can pull an upset here. Who do you see the next shock is, if there is any?
Well, yeah, every player has his own characteristics and his own attributes. The skill level, obviously, and then also the mental toughness or the competitiveness. There's a couple of very, very promising players. So Sandro Reyes is one to mention. Noti Nunes was a Toulouse Foundation player who was able to pick up 2 games already at the age of 18, just turned 18 2 weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob Maniti is one
Mm-hmm.
I really like as a player and as a person. He has a strong character. So there's a couple of young players that could fill in that role, that could fit in that um, caliber of being a leader.
Mm-hmm.
But it takes time. It takes time for them to grow into that. It took me time. It took Phil
Mm-hmm.
time. It took
Mm-hmm.
Rob
Mm-hmm.
Gear time. It took
Mm-hmm.
Ali Borromeo time to
Yeah.
fill in that role. And we'll just have to be patient with them and occasionally put a little bit more pressure on them or a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will grow into that.
How do you see the future of Philippine football under head coach Joseph Ferre?
Oh, Coach Coco did a great job, considering that he was just 10 days. He just arrived 10 days before
Mm-hmm.
the tournament. There were a couple of issues that lead to the late arrival of him. It was surely not planned like this. Um, Great coach, great character. I don't know ultimately what his future will look like, or if he will be still involved. That's for Coach Coco and the management to
Mm-hmm.
decide. But so far he introduced himself very nice, and he was very helpful for all of us.
How about you? Do you see yourself eventually one day being the coach of the Philippine Azkals, the Philippine football team?
Yeah, it's definitely my goal. I want to be involved in football. I'd like to be involved. I want to give back. That's the main thing. I got a lot from the national team. I sacrificed a lot, but at the same time, it gave me so much. And I want to inspire off the pitch also the players to achieve greater things for Philippines football. And like I said, we in talks on how this could look like. and I hope we can announce something in the short term.
Well, do announce it here on the show, okay? You always promise me that. And you still owe me that jersey. You told me that. I believe it's with Chester. Next major tournament for the Azkals is the SEA Games in Cambodia. You've been in 2 SEA Games, and that will happen in May this year already, 2023. The men's team has yet to win a medal in the SEA Games. Do you think we can finally win one in Phnom Penh?
Yeah. Well, it depends all on what and how we can prepare for that tournament. The national team or the Philippine Azkals is always a sleeping giant somehow, but the calendar, the players live all over the planet. It's very very difficult to get them all in once. Same goes for the under-23. There's so many young prospects outside of the country. Inside of the country, there's a lot of young good players with the ADT program that's helping a lot the sport, and I hope I get involved in the SEA Games. I proposed for it, I asked for it, and if so, then hopefully we'll do a historic run there at the SEA Games.
Yes, and who knows, maybe when you're at the helm, you can turn things around like what Coach Alan Stajcic did to the Filipinas one day, also sending the men's football team to the World Cup. What do you want to say, Schröck? I'll give you the last message here before we take a break, and then we go to Commissioner Willie Marshall of the PBA. What do you want to say to everybody? Take your time, to your wife, to the PFF, to everybody, because you are retiring from the Philippine football team. What do you want to say, Stephan Schröck? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the supporters. 11 years been a long ride, and I'm very, very grateful for all the support, the love, and also the criticism I got during this time. The coaches that have been involved, especially the team manager, Dan Palami, who is going all out every time for the national team. We're very grateful to have him. I am very grateful for having him. My wife, who sacrificed a lot, my wife and kids, thank you so much for allowing me and for sacrificing family time to represent the country. My mother, who was not able to be at the last game, but she surely watched it on Facebook. And thank you, everyone, and keep on supporting the sport.
Thank you, boss. Danke for giving everything you have, blood, sweat, tears, to Philippine football. Maraming salamat. I know we will see each other either this week or next week with your family. Regards to Pinar and your kids, of course, Diaz Manilo, and your baby girl. I want to see her. I haven't met her, Lupina, yet. Thank you, Schröck. Happy New Year to you, boss. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
Great career. And that was
Thank you so much.
football star, one and only, Mr. Philippines Football, Stephan Schröck.